being recorded.
Yes, that's right. We are being
Anybody else
recorded.
recording?
I don't think anybody else is recording. Anybody else recording? All right. Excellent. No audience
I
tonight.
know.
Not even Mr. Lipson.
Yeah.
All right, so first order of business we have for today is to approval of minutes from our last meeting. That was at the public hearing on Thursday, June 17th, 2025. And we'll accept motions for approval.
They look good to me. I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes of the meetings from June 17th, 2025.
We have a motion to accept the minutes. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. So next order for business looks like is the reorganization. I suggest we move that till after the interdepartmental transfers. And then, is that everyone go with that? And then we'll move to reorganize, and then we will have a discussion for schedule and budget and presentation.
Okay.
What do we need to do for the interdepartmental?
So, right now, there's nothing we can do. So, by law, all department transfers are supposed to be done by July 15th for the previous fiscal year. I know that historically here it's been done in October, but the law is by July 15th. You can do a May, June, first 2 weeks of July. Interdepartment, like the budgeted, voted amount for a department, you can transfer during the year. If it's between departments, you cannot. So I contacted DOR, who said that's against the law, you can't do it now. The director, Deb Wagner, she actually requested a copy of our annual town meeting warrant so that she could look at that at the voted amounts. So if you, and I just made one copy of this because this is a draft, but if you look at the expenditure list that the accountant had sent, if you look at, say, the town administrator total on page 1, that is in the unencumbered balance, if you look at the negative $10,639.35, that is going to have to be reported as an appropriation deficit. So that'll be reported on the balance sheet as an appropriation deficit, and it'll be raised on the tax recap sheet. So
Where are you?
if you look at page 1.
Is this the wrong one? This is the one in the booklet.
Oh, yeah, I think, yeah, that's the wrong
This
one.
is the one in the,
So, like,
this
if
was in
you-
the town.
If you look at this, so these are the actual expenditures that the accountant sent me in September. And this negative balance right here, this is an appropriation deficit for this department.
For
This
you.
is-
This is your salary.
Yes, that one's
Wow.
mine.
Oh.
Not, technically not mine, I wasn't here, but yes. So that's gonna be considered an appropriation deficit. Typically, the only appropriation deficits allowed are in snow and ice. So they are making an exception, a one-time exception for us for doing this. And then if you go down to the town accountant total, the 135, where they have the negative amount of the 547.65, negative the 403.613, but their overall is still positive. So this can be, they were allowing us one time to do an interdepartmental transfer for this amount. However, this is a bad example because when I look at what is left in their account, the town audit is $13,000, so I don't even know those funds are available for transfer. So this might actually end up being an appropriation deficit as well, if we can't transfer those funds. But like if you look down to the assessor's total where they had a deficit of $207.43, they still have over $84,000 in there. So we can just transfer from some other line to cover that. So here's this is just a draft copy because the accountant's going to have to go through in C with the interdepartment transfers, which ones actually have the funds in there that you can still transfer. So some of this might be added to the appropriation deficit, but I don't know if you wanna just like take a look and pass that along. I didn't wanna make a
And
bunch
that's
of
different than
copies.
this?
Yes, that we
Okay.
can't go by
Oh, okay,
anymore.
all right.
That we can't go by. And if
So this-
anybody wants to see.
Now, the
well,
one you sent today, or yesterday, the one Sandy sent,
Yeah,
that's this, this
yeah,
is the same thing?
so see, this is the same thing, this is just my copy, cause I write
Okay,
all
so
over
this
everything,
is
yeah.
Deficit.
And I think I did email this to you today too, Dan, just so you have it.
Okay.
And
I
then you're
have it.
thinking this 10,000 is, this might come in, but let's say this account
So that's
is audited,
transferable,
maybe.
but yeah, as long as those funds are available, it's transferable. If not, it would have to go to as appropriation deficit. So I have assured DOR that this is never going to happen again, and thank them profusely for their help and guidance in being able to fix this. And if anybody wants to see the general law, I have a copy of that here too, and the guidance from DOR on that.
That's this, right? Yeah.
Oh, she did put that in the
Yeah,
packet?
that's in the packet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that is in our packet.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Okay. So that's the law for that. So, I don't know how long it'll take, I mean, I'm assuming it'll take Jean a little bit of time to look through all of these, cause I mean, that's a lot to look at. But my first initial draft, this is what we have come up with. So, no vote on year-end transfers.
Okay, I'm surprised, I think I've been on the committee 5 years and this has never come up.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not reportable anywhere on the gateway as to the date of the vote,
Okay,
but it's still not the law to
Yeah.
vote outside of that window.
no, I mean, it's
So-
good to bring this to the attention and
Yeah,
that way moving forward, we can take corrective action and ensure that the finance committee meets probably immediately after the town meeting or pretty close to
yeah,
reconcile.
right when the accountant has all the expenses posted, that's when you gotta do that
Okay.
fine window. And you can do some transfers before that, like if you know, like say you have $100,000 left in your health insurance line for whatever reason, you had a mass layoff, so the health insurance is out. Not that we want a mass layoff, it's just an example of why you wouldn't use it. So if you have like $100,000 in your health insurance line, you're clearly not gonna use that in May and June. You're clearly not gonna use it all. So you could actually have a meeting before and do some transfers as well. But the towns that I've been in, I imagine large towns probably take advantage of that, but the towns I've been in, they always wait until the July, closer to the
Yeah,
July
yes.
15th. Hi
We were-
Sam, long time no see.
I came in quickly to tell you guys, I think you guys are doing one hell of a job.
So the good news is that our free cash won't be hit by the $270-something thousand. It'll instead be hit by this appropriation deficit amount,
Of the-
whatever that ends up being.
Of the 10,000, potentially 15,000.
Of what?
What's the appropriation number?
Oh, I don't know where the sheet went to. 82.
$82,000.
So right now, that's what will
So
hit our free cash.
that is different than this one you sent around today.
Okay, so it's multiple accounts. Yeah.
Oh, no.
The big one being 192. So no vote for us.
No vote for you.
Appropriation detail.
But I'll obviously keep you posted on everything. Thank you.
Excellent. Is there any other discussion on interdepartmental transfers?
So the thing you sent today, should I get rid of this? This is old?
Yeah,
Or
that's,
yesterday?
that can't be used.
This is new and you're working on it.
Yes, yes,
And
the
it's not-
accountant has to
it's
check
not
all of
final.
those now, yeah, oh, not final,
So we'll get rid of this.
yep, you can get rid of that.
All right.
So I'm assuming that numbers, I'm just looking at budgets and how close a lot of them are right now.
If I can.
is there a projection as far as how much that deficit will go up between now and?
No, because I have to wait for Jean to go through all of these and make sure that there are still transferable funds in each of those accounts.
Yeah.
I'm not the one that should judge that,
Yeah,
so. But it's going to be at least the $82,533.04.
yeah, I'm looking at the police budget, and they're at 96.64%.
Well, this was for last year, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right.
Hopefully they're not 96% for this
Yeah.
fiscal.
Hopefully
It's a
not
little
yet.
early. Don't really be that deep.
I apologize, I didn't look at the date, I thought that was current.
All right. Any other questions on the transfer piece? So you'll get back to the committee if at any time there's a need for a vote from us.
Yes, and if you want me to just, you want me to just forward anything to you that I have? with,
Well, we
like,
should
what
get
our
through
final-
the reorganization first.
Okay.
Do we need to sign anything? Because we signed the transfers.
No, because they're interdepartmental, so I don't believe that you and the select board need to, but I will confirm with DLS on that, since it is end of year. But
Okay.
usually within the same department, you can just transfer with a form, but let me just check with them on that to make sure.
Awesome. All right. So we will go on to reorganizing of the finance committee. And to start off that discussion, I will let the committee know I will not be accepting any nominations for this cycle. My family and career needs have changed, and I just do not have the time to be able to be here every single meeting throughout the entire fiscal year. So with that being said, for the seat of the chair, I would make a nomination for Mr. Zach, I'm gonna butcher it, Zach,
Makowitz.
Makowitz, for the role of the chair. I think he's done an excellent job as our secretary, and it would, I'll be staying on the committee for as long as I can for this fiscal cycle. I'll let the committee know I will not be at every meeting, because I'll be traveling quite a bit this coming spring and, winter.
It's a good thing,
It's good for my pocket.
and that's all that matters, it's a good thing.
Do we need a second on that nomination,
We
or how
would-
does that work?
Yeah, we
I
would
can't
do
remember.
that. So we made a nomination, we would, looking for a second on that nomination.
I'll make a second on that nomination.
So we have a nomination and a second for Zach as the chair. All in favor?
Aye.
And we would entertain, you want to take over now that you're officially the chair?
You can finish
All
off.
right. We could entertain motions for vice chair, and vice chair I think would be next. And currently, we have Leanne as vice chair, and I think
Second her again.
so a nomination for Leanne as vice chair with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Then we have the infamous secretary position, which is not something, I can't do the chair, I definitely will not be able to do the secretary role. We are 2 committee members short today. We could push that nomination, or if one of our sitting members here is willing to accept a nomination for the secretary of the finance committee.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay.
Nobody ever wants to be secretary.
So,
Mm.
So I would say my suggestion would be to hold that position for the next meeting, and we would have to determine the status of Mr. Inman to see if he's gonna retain his seat on the finance committee, and then there's also, I believe, Mr. Bombretti is, he's gonna be here for the remaining, not the remainder, he's got a seat until the end of this cycle as well.
Secretary's a big responsibility.
It is a big responsibility. Chair is as well.
Yeah,
It's, life changes, and it wouldn't be, for me, it wouldn't be fair to the committee, the town, or myself. I
no,
just,
that's
yeah.
okay. And Zach did a great job with this. He did a great job, so maybe he can educate somehow.
And I'll be here to help support Zach, in the transition, and, we already spoke, but whatever, he needs from me, the little knowledge I have of, obviously, I didn't know there was a law on transfers, so I mean, that's on me, not knowing that, that's crazy. So, I say we hold, the committee holds for the nomination of secretary until next meeting, but I wouldn't delay in getting somebody nominated, because as Zach knows, we've been managing our minutes internally. There is a lot of great new tech out there, so I know the committee has a little bit of funds. I don't know if the town's doing anything with AI, but I know in my company, we're using AI scribes and facilitators.
Sandy has been trying out something from Google, maybe, I don't know, Google Chat, or I don't know what she's trying out. She's been trying something out that she said she really likes, so somebody could touch base with her.
Yeah,
It basically transcribes everything, and then you just have to go in and organize it all.
Microsoft Teams has that too.
yeah, Copilot?
Yeah.
I got a full 365, it's phenomenal. It's a game changer, honestly, when it comes to, we do a lot of minutes and meetings at work, and it's really good. It's wrong sometimes, but the tech is pretty good. All right, so I think we'll pause there, and then we'll roll into the discussion for scheduling of budget presentations. I know traditionally, right, last year was an anomaly. I think traditionally, we had a letter that went out from the town administrator's office, like, anywhere from early to late November, out to all the departments. The finance committee would often review that letter.
Okay.
And in the letter, we would, there was the best years are the years where the schedule was laid out within the letter. I think last year, the process didn't get thrown away, but it wasn't firm, and there was quite a few meetings we had where it seemed that the departments that were supposed to present were unaware or unwilling to present on their days. So I feel that if we can get that out sooner this year. And I know Melly and I spoke, potentially even starting the cycle a little bit sooner, along with potentially ending it sooner. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's what I would like to do, because you don't want to wait and keep pushing people out. So I don't know how you feel even about starting in January.
We started, I think, the earliest we started with meeting with departments in the past, I think was the last week of January. But if we could bump, in my opinion, if the committee so decides, bump it up to start early January.
Now, do you do every other week?
Typically.
So you do 2 weeks?
2 weeks,
So if
yeah.
it was the second and fourth week of the months?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have copies of last year's letter, the administrators?
I
sent out?
haven't come across one, but I can try to find it so that I can see what everybody was scheduled for.
Yeah, it looks like our first meeting this year was February 11th.
Yeah, it was late this year.
That is late.
It was late for us as well. I think there was snow, there was a cancellation because the office was closed. I know the office was closed one meeting because of cancellation.
Okay.
Wasn't there a power issue too when we?
According to El Nino. We're gonna have limited snow.
Limited,
Oh, that would
no,
be
it's not a La
lovely.
Nina year, it's an El Nino
Whatever
year.
it Whoever it may be. It seems, that they claim, whoever they are.
And, I mean, does the committee feel that we should follow a similar process, like where we meet with like one of the larger departments each week and and then sprinkle in, you know, some of the smaller committees and commissions?
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
like
that.
having the school on a day where you have like smaller ones,
Makes
police,
sense.
fire,
See you, Sam.
Take care, Sam.
It's just too long, I remember. there
Yeah,
was one
you're
that was
here
like
until
10
like,
o'clock,
yeah.
wasn't it?
No,
Close to
that's
10.
crazy. I,
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
I veto that.
so yeah, like the larger departments on days with
Okay.
smaller or level funded, normally level funded
Yep.
groups.
Okay. I can throw that together. And I did talk to Dan too. I have a really good department budget template that I like that I had worked with the Collins Center. I had gotten a grant to do this whole big project that I'm gonna actually send to the departments. And it will show 3 years of three prior years of actual expenditures, the current year, and the proposed. So that you actually have like at least a 3-year history looking back as to what
Yeah,
people had
that's-
spent.
That's a
in
good idea.
those. And it's
Is
nice.
it-
No, they're upstairs, I'm sorry, they're upstairs, this is finance committee.
This is what?
Finance committee?
Okay, thanks.
Yep,
Well, yes.
yeah, you've been really bored for the next, you know.
No one look familiar, you know? All right, thanks.
You in the wrong place too?
No, I knew it was gonna be here, I was just waiting to go upstairs, I just wanted to see how long you guys were gonna be.
Yeah, so it's a really nice clean format as well, and it shows
Is
the
it-
money change and the percent change as well with everything, so.
Is it the same format that we've been using? Not format, but the same categories that we've been using?
So
for
I'm
the
gonna,
last-
typically when I do this for towns, I fill them all out myself, but I just don't have the time to do it. So I've kind of wiped them all of the information, and the departments are just gonna have to fill in everything themselves. So everything like, I don't have my glasses on, what does that say? So
This was-
this one, so like anything for the treasurer collector department, they'll put in all of these ledger numbers, the names, and then they'll start with FY 23, 24, 25 with their actuals, their current 26, and their 27 proposed. So that you actually have a 3-year history looking back to see
That-
what they've
That
actually
is
spent.
an excellent idea.
Yeah, cause that'll give you an idea of like, are you funding enough? Are you overfunding? The only places that I really caution saying, oh, you're overfunding is obviously like the police department, the fire department, cause you never know when you're gonna have overtime from things. But it'll give you a much better idea of what's being spent than what was just the prior year and going forward, so. If that's okay with you guys.
And then
Sounds
we
great.
used to receive that as a spreadsheet, which was
So-
nice and like,
Yeah, so I have actually found that spreadsheet, and I also talked to Dan when it comes to like really working the budget so that you can fund the budget. I have another spreadsheet for that is like say we'll go FY 26, FY 27, which I've already started filling in the FY 26. And it has everything with all of your income up at the top, with like all of your tax levy and everything, all of your state aid, if you have, well, we don't have a capital improvement plan committee here, do we?
I think it's kind of defunct.
Okay,
There-
yeah, so like any capital funds would be up in the revenue, your free cash would be up in the revenue. And then it breaks out all of your departments, say by like public safety, general government. So, and then it breaks everything down, it has your debt, it has your schools, it has your free cash use with voted articles. And then anything like your state assessments at the bottom are down there. And then it will have the total, so it sums everything for you, and then you can see like from the prior year where you were at exactly through the whole spreadsheet and where you are in the current year. So then you can go in and you can play with some of those numbers to be able to try to balance the budget. So it's good to have like this Excel spreadsheet for all of the departments, but then it's also good to have, just
That
something that's
separate one,
only your
yeah.
budget.
Yeah.
So you can really look at it.
that's awesome,
Yeah, so I'm working on filling that all in now.
perfect.
Excellent. And
So
I
you're
don't,
taking,
no, go right ahead, Eric, I'm sorry.
you're taking the previous 2 years from the data the spreadsheet that you used to send us, I presume. We used to get a spreadsheet
Yeah, so and it had
so you're taking the numbers from that
and
to
putting
add
it,
to your spreadsheet.
yes,
It's a little, you know,
yes,
transitions are difficult sometimes.
yes, they
So
are.
we'll have to
Yes, they are.
worry about
And
what.
you will still get your spreadsheet, your bigger spreadsheet,
Well, we
if
can
that's what you
adapt to
like.
yours, but,
not a
you
big
know,
deal.
it's gonna take some work to make, to,
Yeah. A lot of copying and pasting, so.
Some V lookups.
Yeah.
Little X lookup. And I know Melanie, we did have a brief discussion on the potential to get a little bit more granular with the departments. Is that still the
Yes.
goal?
So that's what I would like to do. We're actually, I haven't like put it out there publicly yet because I don't have a quote from Vadar yet. I did have a conversation with Vadar to change our accounting to Vadar, which has been recommended year after year after year by our auditors. But I didn't really put it out there just because I haven't heard back from Vadar. Well, I've heard back from them, but I haven't gotten a quote from them for it yet. So that would go along with, because if that's something we did, we'd obviously have to set up a chart of accounts in there. So at that time is when I would wanna do that.
Okay.
Because I think it's really important for like per building to know what you're spending for electric, what you're spending for heat. You know, like in anything else that you would wanna see broken down, within that department would be recommended to do. So think about that as we're moving forward with any changes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know when we were talking, what came to mind was like the Council on Aging and the Senior Center, right? They present their budget, it's broken down. You know, they do a really decent job of, you know, showing all those expenses, but when it comes back to the town side, it's one line item.
Yes.
Right, so, you know, so think of that, like if we had all of that broken out for each department, that, especially if there's a facility, like the public safety, we know the public safety, you know, is high on energy, you know, but we don't actually see that in the budget, we see it as a single line item.
And I know last cycle, you brought up a purchase order process for a lot of departments. I think that would be a good direction to go with a lot of departments, that way it's not just expensing, right?
Yes.
Because I think is that the current process, do you know?
What do you want to have purchase orders for? I guess is what I'm asked, what I need.
I think it was just some of the internal if you have to refresh my memory, but I think some of their internal
I
processes.
think a lot of the consumables,
Yeah.
right?
Such as,
Like paper goods, like we talked about, I think it was, stuff that like an office would use, and where POs, there was potential, I think what we saw, maybe, you know, some of the fall of the DPW, where POs may have been cut, but they weren't properly reconciled, because they weren't using a true PO process.
yeah, and I don't know, I'll have to have a conversation with the accountant about what she does with purchase orders, because I know a lot of towns don't even utilize purchase orders. So let me check with Jean on that.
And you can leverage those too with like net 45, as far as, you know, if you pay it on time, you can get a discount, so depending on the volume you're buying, so.
It was, we definitely had the discussion last year, because,
Talk about them getting bids,
you know, with some of the,
getting price checks to see.
the budgets for some departments being over budget, and it was kind of like highlighted, I want to say like in April or May, because they were trending to being not within the allocated, and then there was obviously a lot of chatter and noise throughout the town on, you know, how the department should operate and spend.
Yes, and I mean, one thing, I can't possibly do it right now, but one thing in the not so distant future I could do is things like with procurement, is procuring printer paper for the town. You know what I mean? I think that's one thing that's lacking, is that, you know, departments are buying their own supplies and there's nobody overseeing everything. Which often happens in towns, because you just don't have the staff. I mean, I myself, like I right now, I could not possibly put that on my plate.
Yeah,
But in the near future, I could, you know,
Yeah.
do something like that.
like a long
Yeah.
range, like a
And
long
then,
range
yeah,
forecast.
and then if you put it out to bid, then you can actually, you know, get some good prices on it, so,
Yeah, you buy wholesale, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
deep discount that.
so, things like that we could look at.
Excellent.
Look at us.
Went on. Great. Well, I think that's the end of our agenda. You know, I'll be around, but I do wish Zach you know, and everyone the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll do a phenomenal job. I'm excited I'm a big fan of change and, you know, not being stuck in the same process year in, year out. So I'm excited for you, I'm excited for the committee, I'm excited for the town. Same thing with Melanie. I think it's just a great addition to the town.
Hopefully.
And yeah, time will tell, I guess, right?
Time will tell.
We won't go with a great, we'll just go with like a mediocre addition to the town, potentially
You're
a
an
great,
addition.
yeah.
If there's some way we can help, you
I will let you know.
transition,
I will let you know.
we'd all
Thank you.
love to.
Yeah, it was great meeting with
Because it is-
Dan, so I got a lot of good information from him as to how, you know, everything worked, so.
Yeah.
It's hard to know how everything works
It
in
is,
this
'cause
town.
every
It
town is
a-
so
it's a
different. Every
strange
town.
town, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And we do have some unique process, well, I mean, like, look, we thought transfers, I've been with the committee for 5, maybe 6 cycles now. And every year, we've always signed those and voted on them.
It was
in
never a
October,
problem.
Maybe September
Yeah.
one year, but, and that's a process we adopted when I came, like Eric came in, I came in. So who knows how long they've been running
Yeah.
that process for.
And like I said, I mean, there's no mechanism for checking it in Gateway, but if anybody ever said, oh, let's go see when their vote was, you know what I mean? If the
Yeah.
vote's not there, then the vote's not there, so.
But Jean, you normally would go through all these, right?
Yes, so, and she did with
kind
that
of
other
decide-
sheet. Yep, and now she'll have to look at all of these and make sure that all of these are fundable within those departments. And whatever isn't, I'm assuming will have to be added to that. But it's still better than 270, however many dollars, thousands of dollars hitting our free cash, so.
Excellent.
Okay.
I don't think we have anything else on the agenda for tonight. Does the committee want to potentially discuss their next meeting date, or?
Let's do that. So,
And we're wanting to meet in January, you said, yeah? That would be our next meeting date, or there would be one before that?
That is the call of the committee and the chair. I mean, from Melanie's position, you know, does the town have any needs for the finance committee between now and the end of the calendar year?
I don't think so, as long as DLS says you don't need to vote on those interdepartment transfers.
Okay.
I don't think that you would.
And then, you know, depending on, really, it's your call, Zach, if you want to have like a meeting ahead of meeting, you know, with the departments, and what would that look like? We've done that in the past. Sometimes we just get right into it and meet with the departments.
So, Dan, you think that Brian is possibly gonna stick with us? I got the impression he was
it's
retiring.
done. That's what I
So
Yeah.
if that's the case, we're gonna need Joshua to,
Yeah, I'll
maybe,
as a last task, I'll reach out to Joshua and, you know, see if he's heard from Brian, and if he has, I don't think he has,
I mean.
because I did talk to Joshua, something unrelated, and it didn't come up, so if not, I'll reach out to Brian.
I mean, it would be great to have Brian continue on with us, you know.
Oh, it'd be phenomenal. I mean, he's
But I-
20-something years and highly
Yeah.
knowledgeable
Yeah.
and supportive, and I do not disagree.
Is
But,
anybody opposed to having just a really brief meeting in early November, just to finalize who the secretary will be?
I'm
And-
okay with that, and maybe we could have the letter then to look at,
Yep.
the letter that would go out. Would you be able to do that?
Yeah, if you wanna do it early enough in November.
Yeah,
I'm
and we
hoping to get
can,
the letter
yeah, and
done
we
next
can
week,
do
yeah.
we can look at the letter, make sure that's good,
What are you
and
looking
also.
at?
the only,
Some of the earlier letters were not that good, I thought.
You like
With-
last year's
in my-
letter?
I liked last year, maybe
What
the
was
dates were
last year's
funny.
letter was
Can
the one that
someone-
said it needed to have 2 budgets,
Can
one that was
someone
level funded,
forward it
one
to
that
me?
was.
I don't know if they're-
just,
They want, some of the
I've seen
earlier
that.
ones were not well-written, I didn't think, but, they,
Leanne, how
Well,
about
Jessica
the
did a
4th?
decent job, I thought.
November 4th, would that work?
That's fine with me.
but we were specifying to
election
each
day. Is the
department
building open? I don't know
to give
if that-
you their
Does it
budget
matter?
And then
and
the next Tuesday's.
a level
the 11th,
funded,
Yeah.
Veterans
but
Day,
I don't
so-
know.
Veterans
Yeah.
Day. I will not be here
Address.
either one of those days.
Well, I mean,
Each of the
if we-
departments,
if
I
we
would
have
say it's up to
Jersey and
you.
New York.
and if we have to level fund, then we have
So
to
you're
level
gonna be on
fund.
the
They
road.
don't
How
need
many
to
days
submit
are
a
you
level
gonna be on the
funded,
road?
you know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
We know.
It
they were under
varies.
that, unless you want them
But I go out to Buffalo
Well,
now,
they
and I go
usually
down
come
to
in
Somerset, New Jersey.
to. Well, of course
So
you
that's where our
do.
corporate office is.
Oh,
We have meetings,
Okay.
and then, but I have
It's what
I
you
have a
do. You
new
get a budget for
team
your
member that's out in
department. That's
Buffalo,
what you
so
do.
I got Syracuse and Buffalo I cover.
So the 11th
Nice.
building
And
would be open.
I just can't,
Veterans
like,
Day.
revolve my work schedule around being.
That's a
yeah, so
holiday.
we're-
Local
yeah,
The
finance,
that's
4th
you
is the
know.
building
Oh, I
open
know.
as
And
well?
then like, the
Because
kids'
that's
sports are
election
really
day.
The 4th
ramping
is
up
the
too,
4th
like,
of
my daughter's
building's
doing
open, yeah.
competitive
So we could come
dance, she
4th
does
and
field
meet.
hockey,
Yeah.
Braden does swim.
Okay,
and-
is that good enough for you
Yeah.
for
I'm like a
time frame for the
personal
letter?
Uber.
Yeah.
You're okay with the
That's
4th?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the 4th, and she said the building's fine, and
I'll
it's
do
not
no,
like
I
a,
can do November.
Yeah, I know
holiday.
you can't, you said you can't make the 4th.
I will be out of town
Yeah.
the fourth.
So what time, 6:30?
I would just caution if, because for secretary, if Brian does not come back and we don't, Joshua doesn't have a new nominee to get sworn in, because that's just 2 weeks away, right?
Yeah, okay, so why don't we hold off,
I would say maybe early, my suggestion would be early December.
okay,
Okay, and in the meantime, Zach, I can send you the letter for approval?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And somebody will send me a copy of last year's, just so because I don't want to
I
find the
don't
wrong
I
letter.
think I have a copy of last year's. Do you have one, Dan?
We could, I have Jessica's copies, that we put together with, that had the schedule. I think that's what last year's was missing, was like, it was sent out and the schedule, then it was a little bit erratic.
Yeah, I think. I agree
So
with you.
I'd recommend if we can get that out with
The
the schedule of departments, and I don't think we really added any departments that I know
And I have a question, instead of the second and fourth weeks, can we do the first and third to be in line with the select board? So if I want to take a week off, I can. So I don't have just meeting,
Yeah, I
meeting,
mean-
meeting, meeting.
Did they also meet on Tuesday?
They meet the first and third on Mondays.
of. The only thing you gotta worry
Okay.
about with them is holiday weeks, right? Cause then they push to the Tuesday.
Yeah, but they start at 5.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wow,
yeah.
Early risers over there.
No, it's so nice. I don't have to sit here, well, I don't have to be here for an extra hour and a half.
No, that's great. We kinda went,
Okay.
the last 2 TAs, we went opposite schedule, so because that's what they prefer. They didn't wanna be.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the same week.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
I
wanna
get-
do the 2nd of December, or is it the 2nd? Am I looking at that wrong?
I
2nd
won't
of
be-
December is the first Tuesday in December. You're not gonna be here, is that what
I
you're saying?
won't be, I'll be deer
Okay.
hunting that week, so.
Lucky.
It's my husband's doing.
Would you be deer hunting the 9th?
I will be
He'll be
available
deer
on that.
hunting,
Okay.
he'll be deer hunting all of December.
I will, but not on the night.
But not on the 9th? All right. Is that good? We can do the 9th, and then we'll let Josh know.
Yeah, I'll reach
Or
out.
we'll figure it out by the 9th.
I'll reach out to Brian and see what his, final determination is, and if he has made the decision to resign, I'll make sure he gets the proper paperwork in
Okay.
over to Ellen and
Perfect.
Joshua. And then we will let Joshua know he needs to be on the hunt for a replacement.
Okay.
Cause otherwise it'll be up to, the folks here to battle it out for the secretary role.
Okay.
Draw straws.
He's too good, Zach is just too good.
And you're gonna show Zach how to do to post that was that you? You were the one posting that to the internet?
No, typically it's Sandy, I did
Oh,
it.
Sandy does it?
I did it when Greg was here, so I do have that access, and Zach, if he wants to manage that, he's more than welcome with the My Town Gov. email.
Yeah, just so that we make sure that we
Yeah.
post that meeting so that everybody's aware and we don't get in any kind of trouble regarding that.
I do have, and Ellen can get you set up, or Sandy, right? One of you with My Town Gov. Who would be the one?
Yes, Ellen.
Ellen. If, so when we went to Greg Bellacornis for the first time, I kinda took that over temporarily.
Yeah.
Just because there was a lot of other stuff going on.
Right.
But once things settled, I
It was
kinda
back to
passed the
them. Okay,
baton back
okay.
to Sandy, to free up time.
Okay.
Good.
The treasurer, the meeting, the secretary role, Zach, you did a great job, because every time we voted, we never had to change anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So that's key.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it would be that way if I were doing it.
No, but that's why, like, if either the town or, you know, the finance committee, like, you know, we do have a budget, roughly, it's $1,000, we expend maybe 600 to 700 annually for ATFC fees and the printing of the booklets. But I don't know if it's a purchase program, but you could look to see if you know, with this new technology coming out. Or if the town, we don't.
New technology like your phone, you push a button
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
the
like,
thing and it
it-
spits out a
it's-
PDF of your.
On YouTube, so this is recorded and put on YouTube, and you can look to the right-hand side, and it tells you everything everyone is saying. It's not always correct,
It's improving though.
but it's improving. So you could technically just like copy and paste everything that was
Is
written.
that what you were doing, Zach?
No,
No,
no.
No?
he's typing
Zach-
away over there.
Zach's doing the old school way. Well, and that there
Well,
isn't.
deciding what to write and keeping it simple
Yeah.
instead of there's some complexity sometimes
try
in
not
these
to write
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just needs to be high level, it doesn't have to be granular
Yeah.
detail. The challenge with, you know, the technology or YouTube, if there's some sort of connection issue that we're unaware of, you know, internet goes down
Right.
at while we're meeting, that doesn't translate over to, you know, the servers. And if you're solely relying on that for your minutes, you're gonna be jammed up. Alright, so I mean, another alternative backup is to, like, you know, have like what Sandy, like a voice recording device running during the meeting and
Well-
use that. But I mean, the technology is rapidly improving with, like, we talked about
Maybe
Copilot.
mention that to Joshua when you're when you're touching base with Josh.
Tell
Maybe
him.
he knows some AI stuff.
Oh,
He
I'm
might
sure.
find us a good one.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's a rapidly evolving technology, so it's wild what it can do. But with that being said, I am ready to go home.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
We have a motion second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Nice